Welcome to yet another episode of the Top Corner Show. The lad is ready, the lad is focused, nothing can distract the lads. The one and only Caleb Nyaga, sports savant.
And I go by the name Kim, a humble, passionate, dedicated hater of Manchester United.
Mr. Ball Knowledge here, Sydney Kyoko. Here we go.
In this episode, we're purely talking about the European competition, UEFA Champions League. So we're starting with the kings of Europe, of course. Real Madrid, who of course, Dortmund thought they had gotten the better of them, scored 2 goals by halftime, but guess what? Ballon d'Or winner Vinicius Jr., incoming Ballon d'Or winner, got a hat-trick. And Real Madrid ended up winning the game 5-2. Next up, Juventus Stuttgart 1-0. I'm just going to go through all the scores and then we're going to discuss them a bit before we go on. Juventus against Stuttgart, they got a red card towards the end of the game. They lost to Stuttgart 1-0. PSG drew with PSV, which was an interesting result. Aston Villa, of course, top of the Champions League table, 2-0 against Bologna. Brest versus Leverkusen, they drew 1-1. And then, of course, the game of the competition yesterday at night. Barcelona versus Bayern Munich. It was a revenge mission for Hansi Flick people. The boys were ready, and they scored 4-1 at the Barcelona Stadium. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Start with Kings of Europe?
Yeah. Real Madrid. Yeah.
Crazy comeback. I didn't expect.
I think I did.
I expected.
Everyone expected.
Yeah, everyone expected.
Yeah, everyone expected.
But I still blame the Dortmund coach. It was not necessary to remove a winger for a centre back.
That was a tactical
It's
mess.
not a tactical need that works in this era.
Yeah.
Ilikuwa kitambo. Watu walikamkokaza. But now I will fake.
The thing we've seen it more often recently in modern football. When you're ahead, you still substitute a winger or an attacker for another attacker. You don't.
But their plan was just doing good. It was not necessary. I'll interrupt the flow. They had momentum against Real.
If it's not broken, don't fix
it.
What do you guys think about Juventus and Stuttgart?
Yeah, it was more of a still game.
Personally, I don't know how Juventus are playing. Huwezi jua kama this time wako form, hawako form, wako home, unajua odds are 2, you don't know nani Stuttgart.
But don't forget they had a red card, yeah?
Yeah, true.
But
they had a red
towards
card.
the end of the game. Actually,
it was
on 90.
But I mean, a red card does it really
game.
impact the change of the game if you're a team like Juventus?
Yeah, you are 10 men against 11 men, so someone is doing the extra work, you see.
I mean, yeah, but it's Stuttgart. I mean,
it was a comfortable win.
Stuttgart is not a small.
Then again, it's Euro. Yeah, exactly. Then again, it's Euro.
Don't underestimate anyone in
Europe.
Europe.
You never know.
Yeah.
PSV.
Yeah, personally, PSG tangu Mbappe atoke.
Yeah, PSG is kind of underwhelming after the Mbappe exit. Yeah.
I think they are, but then again, it's a matter of PSG. Maybe as they progress into the season, they're probably going to be better because they still have the players, they still have the caliber.
But I still
have one of the best goalkeepers in the world.
Yeah,
right now.
But you guys, Donnarumma is overrated. You guys.
Donnarumma is not overrated.
He's good for Italy. He's good for Italy. Watch his PSG games.
He's very poor.
But I mean, it does more about the standards of the Italy games. You know what I'm saying?
But PSG will probably. I mean, they won't make it that far, especially in the European competition this season.
Yeah, of course.
But PSV drawing with PSV, that was
for PSG.
I mean, if they didn't win it with Neymar, Mbappe, and
Messi,
where else can they?
What a trio, though! What a trio!
That was one of the best. If that could have worked, that would have been one of the best championships in the European Championship ever. Anyway, Aston Villa and Bologna.
Unai Emery master class, yeah.
As always, top of the table in the Champions League.
You know, that's crazy.
But it's in Motor Karatas.
We need to talk about that Duran guy though.
But this is in Motor Karatas.
You know, even if come on, is a draw the next that's the 2 games.
Yeah.
That's enough for them.
I mean, but we'll see. Aston Villa will not really.
I like their style of play though.
Style of play, yes.
Yeah,
but style of play doesn't win.
They play exciting ball, you know.
All right, Brest and Leverkusen.
Leverkusen.
This season, maybe it's not the unbeaten season again. Yeah, they still have the same core.
It's more of the last season they put so high standards for themselves.
Yeah, true.
But
that's a good thing. That's a good thing because now they have a limit that they know they should reach. Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, and finally FCB and Bayern Munich. Rafinha is on a roll this season.
What a masterclass!
Captain Rafinha is on a roll. Barcelona itself is on a roll. You have Lamine Yamal who's playing tremendously.
And a lot of excitement.
We have
Robert Lewandowski.
Pedri the magician.
Pedri the magician is back.
This centre back, Pau Kubasi.
You have Pau Kubasi.
He's experienced for his age. That boy is only 17 but playing like a...
He's playing like a really mature player.
Yeah.
Oh, and
his decision making.
Started Nini. playing? Who?
No,
Chelsea.
No,
not yet. They're still using Iñaki Peña. It's
But
still
well,
good for them.
we'll see about that. But that was a really good game yesterday. It was a masterclass from Barcelona and Hansi Flick boys. Moving on to the next match weeks.
And to humble, of course, this guy.
Yeah.
Muller.
Muller, Thomas Muller. He's
Muller
been making fun of
anapiacha,
Bayern Munich
Barcelona.
of Barcelona for the longest time.
They're still the future.
They're still the future.
Watapatana labda.
All right, so we want to predict a few of the matches that are coming up in the next Champions League competition. You have Real Madrid versus Milan.
Of course, Real Madrid.
Real Madrid will win.
It depends on their who's home.
AC Milan itasumbua Real.
I don't think
But
so.
AC Milan itasumbua Real.
Ingekuwa Inter, mimi ningesema ingekuwa draw, but for AC.
AC, I think Real is just
All right.
breeze against them as usual.
We'll see about that. We have Liverpool at home against Leverkusen.
Because it's Anfield.
It's one exciting game.
They might draw.
Yeah.
They will end up. That game might draw.
Xabi Alonso is coming back home.
I know, right? Xabi Alonso is coming back home. And this is a Liverpool with a new coach. I mean, I still want to see how they're playing in Europe because, well, in the Premier League, they're on fire, but on Europe, it's a whole different ball game. So we're going to see. We're going to see. I'm picking a draw. Club Brugge versus Aston Villa, who are top of the table.
Yeah.
This is actually the only
Villa
reason I'm
win,
picking
of
them.
course.
Aston Villa win.
Unai Emery
Well,
masterclass
Will
again.
still continue topping that table.
All right, we'll see. We'll see about that. We'll see. I think Aston Villa are probably going to win as well. Yeah, I'm going to pick a win. Inter Milan versus the Arsenal.
It's a draw.
Do I sense a bit of bias there?
Of course, there is bias. Of course,
It's a
there
draw.
is
For me,
bias.
it's a draw.
I
With
also
the
think
injuries
that.
Arsenal
Inter
are
like to
having.
play boring.
And
It's not boring if you watch well.
Inter play a very aggressive form of football, which is interesting because Arsenal are also coming into that age of playing aggressive football. So I want to see how they're going to match together. I just watched the game that they had last weekend, and wow, Locatelli is Inter's Odegaard.
Yeah.
That guy is making passes into that's a real player.
And the left back, that guy Dimarco.
Dimarco
is another
What a player.
Sijaisikia mtu calling to Dimarco.
So I mean, we're gonna see. This is also going to be another. This is a showdown, especially, and it's happening in Italy.
Most probably.
It's Italy.
Playing in Italy is always very difficult. Yeah. Especially
the
for
fans,
Arsenal.
the fans there are crazy.
Exactly.
Also very
The
crazy.
Spaghetti Boys are very good at football, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And finally, PSG versus Atletico Madrid. I'm picking Atletico to win.
Yeah, same.
Both of
Even
the
though they're
teams.
in France, I think Atletico.
Both the teams this season have been underwhelming. Even Atletico, you saw their summer signs were good, but their game is not yet up to their standards.
But I mean, Atletico, the coach. I have full trust in the coach.
Yeah,
when you have him
he's
for a
a good
coach,
guy.
if you have Diego Simeone for a coach, then I mean, what more do you need? The players will become great. So here we go. Thank you so much for listening to that episode. Here we have come to the end of the episode. Do not forget to give us your comments, your opinions, and your predictions as well on the games that we just spoken about and any other games you'd like us to discuss regarding the game, the beautiful game of football. Follow us at Iris Studio
on Instagram and TikTok.
And please don't forget to subscribe to our channels.
This has been Top Corner.
Tupatane Top Corner.